All right, to absolute hell with the countdown. We're getting started. Go away, countdown. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this fine morning? I've got to see the chat. There we go. Circus, how's it going? Grofy, good morning. Just in time. Yes, you are. You are just in time. Oh, okay. That went down the wrong pipe. Oh, coffee went down the wrong way. Oh, me. It is early. Well, it's not early. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, but it's early enough. Big K, Jens, Milad, hello, hello. It's 5 p.m. Goodness gracious. Day's over. It's like dinner time for you. Okay, everybody's in 5 p.m. apparently, but me. It's not even lunchtime. All right, so what we've got going on today for you guys is I have a save here that was sent to me by a user. It's not in the worst shape. I mean, obviously we have had far, far worse disaster saves here on this channel. Excuse me. I have such bad heartburn right now. It is absolutely killing me. Anyways, so this is not by far the worst disaster save. You know, we've seen some on the channel that are just like mind-bogglingly bad. This one has a lot of small, very common mistakes that I see a lot of new players make. It's little things that are easily remedied and, you know, fixed so you can move on through the rest of the game. Now, we're going to go about doing this disaster save right here on this stream a little differently. Now, in the past, what I've always done is I have myself manually gone in and fixed the entire game. You know, rebuilt everything, all new trade routes, shuffled everything around, and I have put it into a state of near perfection for the player to pick up and carry on with. I'm not going to be doing that this time, mostly due to time constraints. I was going to start streaming at about, and I wasn't supposed to start. Find that. I wasn't supposed to start streaming for like another 2 hours, but family has called and they've got some stuff they want me to come and help them with this afternoon. So I am under about a 2-hour time window right now of free time that I currently have to stream at a time when most of my audience is online. Most of my audience, it's weird. When I look at my demographics, most of my audience is in the US, but the people who mostly watch me stream are in Europe. So you guys are mostly, you know, my audience during the day to stream with. So I decided to change things up just a little bit. And, you know, since I have about 2 to 2.5 hours to stream for you guys, that's not enough time to physically go in and rebuild a save game. Instead, what I'm going to do is we're going to go through and look at what he's done wrong, you know, and what mistakes I have seen. I've glanced at the save really briefly for about 10 minutes. So we're going to really kind of dive into this together. We're going to look and see what this player, he or she, I keep saying he, but it could be a she, he, she, they, them, whatever you want to be. I don't care what you are. And we're going to go in here and just look and see what has happened. You know, and we're going to talk about what the player should have done and how they can go about fixing that. But in terms of actually me manually changing it, I'm not going to do that. And that may be true going forward for, you know, future disaster saves, where we discuss these things, we talk about it, and I show you what was wrong. But it's going to be up to you as the player to actually go in and fix those things. So if everyone is cool with that idea right there, then we're going to carry on here in just a moment. I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes for a couple more people to come in. For those of you who are here, it looks like we've got 52 of you right now watching. Be sure to hit that like button down below. It really helps out the stream, gets that out so people can see it. And of course, it helps the channel. We are closing in on 50,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mind-boggling to me that there are 50,000 people who think I'm worth watching. So please be sure to give a thumbs up to the video, to the stream, and everything else so people see that. And hopefully we can hit 50,000 within a couple of months. All right. I have wet my whistle. Phone is on silent. That way I don't get buzzed by text messages. And let me just check real quick right here. Okay, cool. All right, everything is good. Let me just check over here. What's going on, Philip? Watching from Holland. Welcome in. What's up, What Button Dash? How are you? Mario, how are you doing? Okay. All right, let's get started. Let's kind of get in here. So, yeah, we're on regular speed. So, like I said, this is not by far a terrible save. They do have some coins. We've got about 1.6. They've got an okay balance, but as you can see, it is fluctuating. So, and obviously the population is fluctuating. You know, a lot of people will look at that and say, hey, this player's doing all right. I see positive numbers there. The problem is these numbers are fluctuating. At no point in time do you want these numbers fluctuating except for the global population going up because you have supplied new goods or upgraded houses. Having them fluctuate up and down is a bad thing. You never ever want that. All right, so we're going to pull up the statistics screen first because I am in Anno 1602 mode and I keep using the arrow keys to move the map instead of WASD. I am all screwed up here. All right, so first thing we're going to do is look at the statistics screen. It is your Anno Bible. You know, the stats, I can't say the word statistics very well, so I'm going to say stats. The stats screen is your Anno Bible. Everything you need to know about your city is right there. On PC, it is Control Q. On console, I have no clue what the shortcut is. You have to figure that out yourself. I don't play console, so sorry about it. We're going to bring that up. Now, luckily, we don't have a lot to work with here. We've got 6 islands. That's it. We've got the main island of Pennsylvania. We've got a Pepper Hops Island, Niter Canned Food Island, Dodo Island, and then 2 other little support islands over here. So it's pretty easily enough. Pretty easy setup here. Not going to be too bad at all. So let's take a look first at Pennsylvania right here and just kind of looking around. You know, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. There's a lot of wasted space, and so, I mean, of course, I don't know the player's long-term goal. The long-term goal may be to move some things off of this island, but you know, I'm not going to sit here and go over the layouts and everything. That's going to take way too much time. Just glancing at it, the layout's actually not bad. We've got a fairly basic Barcelona layout. Barcelona layout is what you see right here. It's a grid with a 3x3, 3x3 of houses, that is, with a 3 tile wide square in the center. This is referred to as the Barcelona layout. If you just go Google a picture of Barcelona, you'll understand why. It's very obvious as to why this is called the Barcelona style. I look great, by the way. This is I've only been up for a couple of hours and I still haven't had a shower yet. So this is bed hair. This is bed head with product in it because I went on a date last night and I went to bed with product in my hair instead of washing it out. So I look a disaster. So anyways, yeah, easy Barcelona style, perfectly fine, easy to fit everything into. So kudos to the player for at least having a reasonably decent layout. They copied that up here as well. Again, I see. So cool to that. Very like that a lot. What I'm not liking is all of the pig farms scattered in here. You know, I would move that stuff off of the island. You know, that's a lot of vulgarity, you know, that we really don't want. We've got 148 vulgarity, mostly coming from the slaughterhouses and pig farms. The rendering works a little bit, so you know, I would move that stuff off. Refineries, you know, don't worry about that. But yeah, I would consider moving all of these pig farms off to a more dedicated island for that. So one of the first things I did notice was I noticed that we were running out of oil on the island. We were having oil issues. So if we take a look right here, we've got an oil refinery and an oil refinery over here. And there are 4 oil wells around this right here. Where are the oil wells? There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, they're all right there. So there are 4. Now, unfortunately, yeah, that does suck. We can't get all 4. I was hoping maybe there'd be a way to get all 4 of those in here, but we can't. So that's why they've had to split that. And see, they couldn't even reach that one. Actually, no, we've got 3 refineries here. All right, so here's my first thing I would do. This right here is a little inefficient. You can cover 3 of those oil wells right there with a single refinery right there, and then have your other refinery down here. Oh, in terms of DLCs, by the way, I meant to mention this. This player only has Sunken Treasures, Botanica, and the Passage DLC. So there is no Research Institute to move the oil wells. Before anybody says that in chat, why don't we just move the oil wells with the Institute? They don't have that DLC going. So one of the first things I would do is kind of adjust this. You know, this is an extra 250 coins and a 100 worker workforce you can claim back by condensing this down. So I would fix that. The other thing is, I don't know why this oil power plant is here. There's my only guess is at one point maybe they had a bunch of their industry down here. You know, I am seeing a trade union right here with some hops fertility, which I don't know why they have the hops fertility in there, because they already have hops fertility on the island. So that's kind of a wasted usage right there. And then I see a schnapps distillery and a moonshiner. So it's kind of telling me that at one point they might have had some industry over here and then they relocated it. You know, I would go ahead and just move this stuff, reclaim that, because that's going to save you on the oil right there. And I know I said I wasn't going to fix anything, and I'm still not. I'm just moving a couple things around. So either they were going to move all their industry here, and that's why there's a power plant there, or they had it and they moved it into another location. Either way, you know, you don't need excess oil. You know, you've only got 4 oil wells on this, oil springs on this island. That's enough for 1 power plant. That's it. You know, you can't support two power plants, and I believe there's no oil coming in on any other trade routes, like from other islands or the New World. So they were having oil issues right then and there. Taking out that 1 oil power plant fixes that problem. So make sure that when you're building your power plants, that you have enough oil. The way I like to do it is to have 1 oil power plant, at least until I get into investors. And that 1 oil power plant is going to supply kind of like what they've started here. You see this oil power plant is kind of in the middle. It's in the center right here. And I'm pointing at my screen like you can see me doing this. But you can see that oil power plant. We've got houses right here and blank space over here. This blank space over here is ideal for factories. You can use this oil power plant, this single one right here, because I believe that's the last one there was. Yeah, that's the only other one there is. Center your progression and your upgrades up to investors around this. You know, he started upgrading down here with engineers. Instead, focus that up here. Get this into your engineers and investors on this half where you've already got the houses. Use this half over here for factories. Squeeze all your factories in over here on this side. That's going to allow you to get away with your single oil power plant. Most games on normal difficulty have 4 to 5 oil wells on your starter island. It takes 3 oil wells to power up 1 oil power plant. So with 4, you could do 1 power plant. So you need to make good use of that 1 that you have available. So splitting that in between the 2 is really good. Later on, when you can afford to have an oil infrastructure set up with oil refineries rather, either in the New World or from one of the other 3 starter islands in the Old World. And starter islands are always identified because they will always, 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 always have potatoes, grain, and oil springs. At least potatoes. Depending on your difficulty settings, it might not have grain. You're always going to have potatoes and oil springs on your starter island. That is what a starter island is. If we take a look right here, this is a starter island where Ching is at. As you can see, potatoes, grain, oil. Willie's starter island, potatoes, grain, oil. And Beryl O'Mara's island, again, potatoes, grain, and oil. So if you're playing with AI, they're going to start on one of those starter islands. If you're not playing with AI, then you could go ahead and go claim some of those starter islands in the old world that have oil on them and use that oil to expand your oil power plant infrastructure on your main island. Otherwise, utilize what you have with a single power plant, split that stuff up until you can start bringing in oil from other regions. Or if you have the Passage DLC, you can get to the Arctic, get the Arctic set up, and start bringing in gas or gas power plants once you get investors. So that's the first thing I noticed was, you know, having issues with the oil and everything else. We shouldn't have too much trouble with that going forward. The rail layout is like, I don't know what's happening here. I gotta fix that. Even though I'm not sending this particular save back to the player, that's going to drive me crazy. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. Okay, there we go. That's better. So fixing that is going to help quite a bit. Let's see. What's the next thing that I'm seeing? Oh, and someone did point out that the it's not getting good coverage over here. That's a really easy fix. We'll just take that and boom. Now it's connected. Now that green spreads all the way over there. So make sure your power plant is connected. So that is a very good catch right there by PV Powell. Thank you for catching that. So yeah, just a quick drag right there and we're good to go. We have ships under attack by Willie. Okay, that's going to be something we're going to talk about here in just a moment, is that. All right, so power plant stuff, that's my first suggestion. So let's get back over into here and just take a look and see what all's happening. So we've got a lot of wood being produced. Underproducing on wool, clay, pigs. A lot of grain. Not enough beef. Not enough canned food. Not enough fur, not enough fur coats. We've got a lot of underproduction. This is the core of Anno right here. You have to keep up on this kind of stuff, guys. You cannot let this stuff get behind. As soon as you expand your population a little bit, you got to go into the stats screen here, look and see what you're behind on, and get that fixed immediately. Don't dawdle around. Don't go decorate. Don't go play around with upgrading roads into brick roads. Got to go into the stats screen and get this fixed, okay? This player needs to go through and balance out all of this stuff right here. Now, if you're playing on console and you're actually watching this video, you might notice this was reversed. On PC, the demand, which is the blue bar, is on the top. Your consumption or supply is the green bar on the bottom. On console, for whatever reason, they reversed this tooltip. They reversed this UI, and the supply is on top and the demand is on the bottom. I asked the developers why they did that, and they said it made more sense and it looked better that way from just a visual standpoint. I was like, oh, for fucking hell's sake. Okay, pause. All right, I don't know if this player got declared war on or if he declared war on Willie. I don't know. Okay, I know why he's at war with Willie. He's at war with Willie because he committed the cardinal sin of Anno diplomacy. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to pause on the stat screen. We gotta talk about this because this. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna be real about this. Do not ever ever do this. Never get alliances. Just don't ever do alliances in this game. I love the team at Ubisoft Minds. You know, I am good friends with several people on the development team. You know, they're great guys. They can't do diplomacy to save their lives. They just can't figure it out. Okay, I love you guys. They do watch my videos and they're gonna watch this. I love you guys, but they can't do diplomacy. Okay. When you go into an alliance with an AI, you are basically setting yourself up for failure. He was probably had a nice relationship with Willie. We can see he had some quests fulfilled, peace treaty signed. He was probably chill with Willie, but he got into an alliance with Beryl. Beryl went to war with Willie. You have two options. You either go to war with Willie, breaking your reputation, or you tell Beryl to shove it, breaking the alliance and raking your reputation. That's it. Alliances serve no purpose in Anno, okay? The AI does not think in terms of relative strengths between you and your allies. They don't care. All they look at is reputation points between them and another player and declare war. They don't care about these things. He has gotten himself into a very bad situation where he does not have... This is all his ships. He's actually got Ship of the Lines trying to do trade routes, which is another massive no-no. All because he's at war with Willie and he can't keep Willie off his back. What the ships he should be using to take out Willie's fleets are trying to transport red peppers around. And he's got himself into this horrible situation with this. What we need to try to do is, you know, I would go through, revoke the alliances. It's going to hurt your reputation. Okay, it's going to. But you need to get yourself out of this situation. These alliances need to be broken, and you need to start doing things like flattering and offering gifts to Willie and get that reputation up at least enough to where you can get a ceasefire. At least try to get a ceasefire from Willie and start building that reputation back up to get a peace treaty. Get trading rights with everybody, including the pirates, and just let it be. Never ever go past trade agreement. Don't go into alliances. If we take a look at their trade routes, they have so many trade routes that are not functioning anymore because of being at war with Willie, and he's sinking all of their trade ships. So you need to get that diplomacy under control. You've got to get that under control. Without, you know, if you're going to go to war with somebody, be prepared to commit to that war. Have a huge fleet of ships ready to go. Be ready to defend your trade routes, take out their ships, take out their shore defenses, and, you know, either take them out or make peace with them. Don't just sit at war with an AI for the hell of it, okay? If you're going to go to war, have it as a goal. Do something about it. Never let the AI declare war on you without being ready for it, and never declare war on the AI without being ready for it. You have to be prepared for this kind of stuff. This player was obviously not prepared because and it's an easy, very simple, common mistake, they got into an alliance. You know, diplomacy in this game is not robust, unfortunately, and, you know, you just don't need to do it. Okay? So, yeah, I would deal with that ASAP. So anyways, let's get back over here and talk about this. So anyways, yes, this player does need to go through and check, you know, all... This is what happens whenever I try to do these. It's like everything is falling apart, and I get distracted by everything going wrong in the cities. And I can't hardly get through a sentence without everything happening. So anyways... stat screen, player definitely needs to go through and check all this kind of stuff. Balance everything out, check what you're doing, and see where you're lacking stuff. You know, I can see that we are, for whatever reason beyond me, we're buying up stuff from high clearance haul, but then we're dropping it off all over the place. That's fine, I guess. Not something I would do, but whatever. We're also... this trade route making absolutely no sense. We're also picking it up from there and taking it down there. You've already got a trade route doing that. Why do you need a second trade route doing it? I don't quite get that. We do have furs coming in from Cashaway to Pennsylvania. Wait. Oh, okay. I saw what's going on here. This is a no-no. Don't ever do this, guys. Don't ever do this. The AI, the neutral traders always carry the same stock of goods. Yeah, Archie will always have bricks, timber, steel beams, pocket watches, gramophones, and so on. The competitor AIs don't. Their stock changes all the time. What I'm assuming is this player was trying to rely on Beryl to supply furs for their fur coat factories, and she runs out and doesn't happen anymore. So this trade route needs to go away. Never set up trade routes between... Oh, and I've seen multiple. Yeah, we got another one here. Trying to buy malt. Trying to buy... Yeah. Okay. All these trade routes are absolutely useless. They don't do trade routes like this. If you see the AI is selling something that you want, send a ship over, buy up what they have manually, and bring it back, and that's it. Don't set up trade routes like this because the AI won't always have that stuff in stock, okay? You need to rely on your own islands for supply. Don't rely on the AI to supply you anything. I see beer. They were trying to buy beer and stuff, and now they're running out of beer everywhere. So I think a lot of their supply problems is coming from that. Just kind of looking at it now, it's like, yeah, that's why you're running out. Look at this. Trying to buy bread and send it down there from her. I understand the concept. This is probably a player that has played something like maybe Hearts of Iron or similar trade-related type games, and it doesn't work like that in Anno, unfortunately. The AI is not there to help you supply your islands with resources and goods. The AI is there to supply you with quests, someone to either fight against or just play, have a little competition with, things like that. The AI is not there as a trade partner. Now, they will come and buy stuff from you, and that's fine. But in terms of, trade, some sophisticated trade routes between all of your... I'm not thinking of Hearts of Iron. Europa Universalis, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of EU4. Sorry, not Hearts of Iron. I'm thinking of EU4. It's not like Anno completely, but it does have more robust trade in it. That's what I'm thinking of. So that's what yeah. This player is definitely trying to use the AI to support their islands. You can't do that. So really what the player needs to do is delete all of those trade routes to the AI, get rid of them, be done with them, and they need to refocus their efforts on supplying their people on their own islands. If you want beer, get your own beer going. You need soap and everything. Not soap. You need like red peppers and penny farthings and stuff. You're going to have to build all that yourself. Victory 3. I keep thinking it's EU4, but whatever. Whatever stupid game I'm trying to think of that has robust trade levels and systems and stuff in it, that's what this player obviously is trying to do, and that doesn't work in Anno. Anno is not a robust trade simulator. It is a robust logistics management simulator where most everything is reliant on you creating it and supplying it to your people. That's the thing. So, all right, let's recap real quick because I've kind of gone all over the place with a few things and a few tangents here. First thing we talked about, of course, was the power plants. Get your power plants situated, condense housing and factories around one power plant. That would be really, really useful to do like that. Diplomacy, get rid of those alliances, do away with all of that, and get yourself back at peace with Willie and get your trade routes set back up and flowing correctly. Do not ever use warships. I don't care if you are at war with the AI. Don't ever use warships as a trade ship. You shut up. Don't ever use warships as trade ships, okay? They have very low speed. They have very low cargo capacity. And they are not meant to be trade ships. Use clippers and cargo ships for trade. If you need to patrol your trade routes, what you can do is go into the trade route screen right here. If we select any trade route, let's just select okay, let's just take this one right here, for example. Let's say we don't want it so close to Willie's Island. There's some little waypoints here. We can take those waypoints and move those. So let's say we want to do that with it. And where's okay, so now we have these two trade routes going, kind of in the same area. They're on the same side right there. Let's see, where's another? Is there any others that are going that way? Although this trade route's not being used, we'll use it as an example. Move your trade routes around. Create highways, essentially. Create main thoroughfares where your trade routes are going to be. And then set up your warships in a patrol. Set up your warships in a big patrol, not as a fleet. Set them up individually and have them all going back and forth constantly. That will actually help deter the AI from coming over and attacking your ships. If the AI sees several, warships patrolling the same area, they will actually avoid that area because the AI is very, very skittish. The AI will only attack you if it has if it feels like it's overwhelming in terms of firepower. Otherwise, they're going to ignore that area and stay away from it. So use the AI's skittishness to your advantage. How good is escorting? Escorting is a bad idea. Okay, the reason why escorting is a bad idea is the escort will go at the speed of the slowest ship in the formation. If you have a Great Eastern outfitted to go up to like 32 knots, yeah, around 32, 36 knots on a Great Eastern, but you are following it with a ship of the line that's only going to go 14 knots, well, the Great Eastern is now only going to sail at 14 knots. See the problem there? It's going to go so slow that you might as well just be using something like a clipper or something. It's not useful. Escorts are only really good for, escorting a ship for a quest or something like that. Never escort cargo ships and clippers. Never escort your trade ships manual like that by right-clicking on them with warships, because it's going to slow down your trade routes overall. Use patrol. Patrol the routes. Create those thoroughfares for your trade routes and everything, like we were just showing here on the trade screen, where we use the waypoint systems to move everything around. We move this, move that up there. And now we've got these nice thoroughfares, and we can patrol like right here with all of our ships, all of our warships, and keep this area safe for our trade routes. That's the better way to do that. What would you say is the best battleship? The Ship of the Line is actually one of the highest DPS ships in the game. It's actually your workhorse. A Ship of the Line outfitted with really good items is kind of your workhorse, and it's going to do a ton of damage. Battleships, or battle cruisers rather, are your artillery ships. That's how I always use them. They already have the longest range, and they do a massive amount of damage. And since they can fire, while moving, they're actually really good for bombarding shore defenses, because you can outrange shore defenses with your battleships. That's how I like to use them. I like to use battleships as artillery to take out enemy islands, and Ship of the Lines and gunboats or monitors as my, ship killers. That's how I like to do it. Just because the Ship of the Line does have the highest DPS, it fires very fast compared to a battlecruiser. Battlecruiser does more damage, but it fires much, much slower. Try to buy pirate SOLs as soon as you can to build the you know, that's more mid late game stuff, Gruffy. Pirate ship of the lines are really strong, and of course the royal ship of the line, if you can get your hands on the specialist through either the institute or just by luck and getting it or seeing one for sale. The pirates do sometimes sell a royal ship of the line. I've seen that, I think. Am I thinking something else? No, I've seen them sell it, I think. Anyways. Yeah, but that's more mid to late game kind of stuff. All right, let's kind of keep talking about some of this right here real quick before I kind of answer. There's so many questions in chat, and I do want to answer them, but I kind of at least want to get through some of this right here. Other than that, you know, so for Pennsylvania, it's not going to be difficult to fix all this. A lot of this, you know, there's a lot of stuff that just needs to be condensed. I see a lot of factories kind of spread out over here. What do we got right here? We got a helical planer, which is decent. A night and day pollution law, which is not good. I would never use this item. You never ever want to use anything that reduces productivity. It is not a good idea. I mean, all you're doing right here is countering. Like, this is a 35% for some of this. Is that even affecting anything? It's not even affecting anything over here, I don't think. No, it's not. So, like, this thing right here is not even doing anything, because it affects ironworks and foundries. And I thought there was one. So this item is actually pretty useless, but even so, I would never use it. You never want to lower productivity, unless it's for a very specific purpose, you know, such as like your steelworks. Okay, thank you. Your steelworks and stuff, like later on, you don't need as much steel coming in, so you could lower that. But a blanket item to lower by 20% just to get some attractiveness back, that's a bad deal. This is a bad item. Don't use that. So anyways, condensing all of this industry back in together, and so it's not kind of spread out, getting it down here to where it's powered up. That way you don't need so many, you know, sewing machine factories, which he's reduced the working conditions by 19% for some reason. I don't know why you would do that, but okay. I'm not sure why that got lowered, but I wouldn't do it. It doesn't really make any sense as to why that's done. So I can't answer that. You're going to increase it by 35, but then lower it by 19. Effectively, only getting a 15% productivity bonus. I mean, obviously they're not doing something right because there's not a steel anyways. So, yeah, this island just needs a lot of balancing work. You know, go through here, get all of your stuff balanced out. It needs a lot of work over here. Steel and even, yeah, okay, they're making some steel, but obviously not nearly enough. So a lot of work, like clay. I mean, look how much clay they're consuming. They're not producing nearly enough. Yeah, all of this needs work. Major work. Get rid of a lot of the wood. Way overproducing on wood. Way overproducing on work clothes. Needs some more wool. Needs more... schnapps is okay, sorry. Needs more clay. Needs more pigs. Needs more bread. Needs more coal. Needs more steel. Needs more rendering works. Needs more goulash. Needs more canned food. Needs more sewing machines. Needs more fur coats. Yeah, needs a lot of stuff, and some of that can be remedied by electrifying these things and getting them down here. So it all kind of goes together. So that would be one of the big things I would do. Get to this island, get it rebalanced, and I think it would start kind of progressing a little bit better, and you wouldn't see so much fluctuation in everything by getting that kind of fixed correctly. So Pennsylvania, not too bad. Minor mistakes over here that need to be kind of remedied. This right here is a complete waste of a location, by the way. The bank, you need to have stuff like this centralized. So like this bank ideally needs to be like, actually I would put the bank like right here where all these farms are. All these farms are in a bad spot, really, really bad spot. This all needs to go away. Either be moved down here or move it to another island. This is a good central location for something like the bank that has a really big range. You could reach a huge chunk of your city putting this bank in the center. So rearranging a few things would probably not be the worst idea. And getting those into a more central location to give you some more coverage that you need. Also upgrading roads. I know I should not be saying this because God knows I'm the worst at this. But get your roads upgraded. And if you don't know, if you use the upgrade shortcut, either through the right-click menu and upgrade or U on the keyboard, if you drag over top of the roads, boom, automatic upgrade of the roads. In case you don't know that, there's you a little trick. Get those roads upgraded. He's got 12, almost 1,300 brick. Upgrade these roads. Stop using dirt roads everywhere. Get those brick roads in and get some more coverage. Other than that, I think Pennsylvania is not in the worst shape I've ever seen. Just needs a few little minor detail loves, and I think we'd be okay. He's got 2 more islands here in the old world that I want to take a look at. Oh, before we look at that, let's answer a couple of quick questions over here, I see. Why is the pirate in the New World so strong? Should I send Ship of the Lines to try to protect trade lines? No. Pirates are actually one of the best trade partners in the base game outside of DLC content. They are really, really good for making money off of. When you start a game, just say on normal difficulty. When you start a game on normal difficulty, unless... if you have map visibility turned off, then you're actually going to be kind of safe for a very long time, at least through Artisans. If you have done a custom game where you have map visibility turned on to where you can see the map the entire time, then sometime around the end of Workers, start of Artisans, you need to have at least 20,000 coins in the bank, 22,000 coins in the bank. And if you follow my guides and all the stuff on my channel to help you learn to play the game, that should not be an issue. You should have 22,000 coins in the bank around that time. Well, as soon as you hit about the end of Workers, start of Artisans, go to Anne and do what this player did. Get a ceasefire agreement with her, okay? The ceasefire agreement is going to give you 8 reputation points for about 2 hours. After the 2 hours is up, she'll go to war with you again. You'll be at war again, obviously. But just go sign the ceasefire again. It should cost you about 20,000. 2 hours later, she'll be at war again. Peace treaty again. Should be around 18,000 coins. It goes down between 2,000 to 3,000 coins every time you sign a ceasefire. And you get 8 reputation points. In between that, you can offer her gifts of money and get 2 more points. Keep doing that right there. Now, yes, it is a lot of money you're investing into this, but you're investing in your future. And you can do this with Jean as well. Keep doing that until you have 60 reputation points with Anne. Now, eventually, you'll actually get down to where it costs like 0 coins to sign a ceasefire. So just keep doing that until you have 60 reputation points. Then sign a peace treaty, and then immediately sign trade rights. And then you will basically have a best friend for the rest of the game. All you have to do then is do some just keep doing quests for her, set up some trade routes to her, which we'll talk about here in a second, and you'll have like 100 rep with her in no time. Jean is a little bit trickier because you start at peace with him. When you get into the New World, you start at peace, but pretty soon he is going to demand you know, upwards of like 150,000 coins sometimes, or he'll declare war on you. Let him declare war on you. Just go ahead and do it. Now, I have had in the past, and I cannot replicate this every time. It's so RNG dependent. I have had it occur where I get to the new world and I can spam things. Shut up, I don't care. I can spam things just quick enough to get a quest from Jean to start getting reputation points, and he won't declare war on me. And I never have to worry about doing it. I can keep him at peace. But it's so tricky and it's so RNG dependent that you're really better off just letting him declare war on you and then do the same exact thing that you're going to do with Anne. Sign ceasefires, give him gifts. Don't flatter. Flattery is hit or miss. Give gifts and ceasefires until you get him to 60 reputation, peace treaty, trade rights, done. That's how you handle the pirates. I know some people love the combat in the game and they like to take out the dirty pirates and stuff, but it doesn't matter. Taking out the pirates, they're going to come back within about an hour and a half. Every about 90 minutes or so, the pirates will come back onto the map and try to resettle. So you have to keep like a fleet of ships around their island to take out their fleet that comes in to resettle their base. So it's really just pointless. Yes, early on, you could spend a little time early on sinking their ships because you can get legendary items out of them that you can either sell or use. So there is some benefit to fighting the pirates. But like if you were using the Land of Lions DLC, dude, you're killing me. See, he's not going to take that. Yeah, he don't want to do nothing. I'm tired of messing with you, dude. I am so tired of messing with you. I'm gonna lose that ship. Yeah. This whole game may fall apart here shortly because I'm losing all my trade ships. I'm gonna build a few more. Yeah, just have a few trade ships, whatever. Anyways. Let's see. Oh. Okay, that was great. Barrel just went to war with him. Barrel just went to war and took out his boat. Okay, that was awesome. All right, anyways, we'll set you back up now. That was just too funny. That was just too funny. Oh me. Anyways, so yeah, pirates, get trade agreements with them, and don't try to stay at war with the pirates. It's really just not worth it, to be honest with me. Is there anything to gain from destroying the pirate base at the time you don't have to bother with him? No, there's no. You gain nothing from destroying the pirate base. You gain nothing other than them not being on the map anymore. But you lose trade partners. And the reason that the pirates are such good trade partners, and I can't show it right now because, well, I might be able to over here. Can I see it over here if I take a look? No. The pirates sell cannons, advanced weapons. Crap. I forgot what the pirates sell. Cannons, advanced weapons, gold bars. I feel like there's something else. It may just be those three things. Cannons, advanced weapons, and gold bars. They sell those, and then they will always buy rum, schnapps. That might be it. There might have been something else. I always forget. Oh, and sales. Yeah, sales. So they do sell some useful stuff. One good way a lot of people like to make money is they will buy the cannons from Jean and from Anna, Anne Harlow. They will buy cannons from them, and they will turn around and sell those cannons to her for a profit. So it's a good way to do a turnaround right there. You can do a turnaround of weapons by buying them from the pirates and selling them to her and make some cash that way. It's a really good way to do that. Yeah, see, I'm running out of money really quick because all of our stuff is screwed up royally. While we're talking, I'm going to fix this. That way this whole thing doesn't completely blow up in my face. Although this player has like some of the worst trade routes, and I don't think any of it's going to matter if I have a ship on it or not. But you know what? We'll just we'll do it anyways. Whatever. All right. Sailors do need their liquor. Yeah, and like, you know, extra schnapps, you can sell that for extra cash and beer and stuff. So it's a really good way to make some extra money. And, you know, as long as you have a ton of cash, you know, you can buy some advanced weapons from her to build your own battle cruisers and everything without having to set up the chains yourself. So there's a lot of good use to having the pirates around. No, sorry, Henrik, I did not see your question. Is the beauty build dead? Right now, it is at the moment, yes. I have some other news regarding Anno 1800 we'll talk about later. But for right now, yeah, I'm not going back to that one. I'm not going back to that particular series. All right, so let's take a look down here at Niter and Canned Food aisle. So they've done an interesting thing where they are actually trying to build a whole secondary island in unison with the first islands. Oh, good. Maybe she'll take out Willie and leave me alone. So, yeah, they're actually building a second island at the same time as the first island. I wouldn't go about doing that right now. Okay? I mean, you can. And there's nothing wrong with trying to do that. But I keep hitting that button right there. And even though this right here is pointless to do, I'm just going to keep doing it because whatever. I wouldn't necessarily do this. You need to kind of focus on one island at a time. Obviously, this player has kind of, to me, they've overextended themselves, and they're trying to supply too much stuff to too many islands, but they don't even have enough to supply a single island. Yet they're trying to do engineers on multiple. This is a trick right here. See this quest? It's a trick. Watch. Yeah. Okay. Shut up now. Alright, yeah. Yeah, decline that quest. You don't get any reputation loss from declining it, so decline that quest. If you ever get the quest from Barrel that has a -3 reputation modifier on it, just decline it. It's fine. You don't get any problems with it. Yeah, just decline it. It's a trick quest. You don't want to complete it. Alright, so, anyways, yeah, I would not have gone this route. You know, trying to do multiple multi-tier islands like this early on is rough to do, especially for a new player. I would have focused on Pennsylvania only. Focus up here, get this upgraded, get all this to investors, and then start thinking about your other islands. But, you know, this is what we're working with here. So they have started doing this down here. I see a lot of stuff turned off. I see a lot of stuff turned off around here. Which is fine, having it all turned off. I don't know why you would have built it all in the first place. There's just a whole lot going on. You know, a lot of random plants. Yeah, we got some random plants going on up here, it looks like. Random zoo. Come here, frigate. Start taking all that crap out. Oh, I gotta sneeze, guys. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Anyways. Alright. What about a central storage island, a mall? If you want to, you can. There's nothing wrong with that. There are many wrong ways to play Anno 1800. There's no right way to play Anno 1800. Okay? If you want to do a central storage island where, you know, all of your production is done at, everything is processed there, and then it's all picked up and taken to residential islands, certainly can do that. It's not required. The exceptions to that being if you're like a record builder, if you're trying to go for multi-millions of population. Yeah, suck it, Willie. Screw off, dude. Put everybody back to work. If you're going for like multi-millions of population, then your strategies are completely changed, and I don't expect you to be watching, you know, beginner guides about how to go about setting up production islands. If you're going for millions of population, I would expect you have some inkling of how the game works. But central storage islands are perfectly fine if that's how you want to go about it. Like I said, they're not required. I have a series where I didn't quite get to 1 million population because of some bugs and everything, and I was getting, frankly, I was getting pissed off, so I quit dealing with it. I think I was at like 900,000, roughly, population, and I did not have a central storage island. I actually did 1 million population beauty build, so I had stuff all mixed in. You know, all of my industry was mixed in efficiently with my residential and stuff like that. So you can get 1 million population or more without having, you know, super efficient layouts and storage islands and stuff like that. It's player choice is how that basically comes down to. It's what you want to do with it. Thank you. So yeah, I definitely would not have done this with all of this down here. It's a little much. I would have used this probably as this is a decent, well, let's see. Yeah, this is a decent farming island actually. The niter is a little useless, but this is a great island for producing your schnapps, grains, and your red peppers on. So I would have focused this island purely for farming. I would have made this my farm island. Maybe some farmers on it if I really wanted to, but mostly I would have used the commuter pier to you know, have population moved around and utilized it that way instead of trying to yet again build up another full city on it. That just takes a lot of extra work. So probably would have done a few different things here. But just like Pennsylvania, you know, statistics screen, you know, we need to go through here and see what we need. You know, need pigs, need grain, need bread, need coal, need rendering works, you know, beef, sewing machines. They just need a lot of everything. So a lot of this just comes down to logistics. This player is showing some really poor logistics decisions on how they are expanding but not keeping up with production. And you've got to do that with Anno. You have to do that. And the other island over here is really the same story. The Pepper Hops Island. It's kind of the same thing. You know, this is the only island they have that has grapes. They have 3 islands that they have claimed in the old world. This is the only one with grapes, and they have filled this island up with everything else. Tons of housing, museums, zoos, you know, red peppers, there's some schnapps, You know, it's filled up with everything except what they need. They're going to need grapes, and so they don't have anywhere to do that. They'd have to, you know, redo all this. This is where you have to kind of constantly think big picture. You know, you can't make a self-sufficient island with the current setups that they have. Everything needs to be interconnected here. You know, this island, again, should be a primarily farming island. This island should be a primarily farming island. This island could be their population center. Population center / non-polluting industry. Let's say that. And then they can do farming and industry on one island and farming and industry on another island. And then ship all of that stuff back to Pennsylvania. Because as it stands right now, they're going to run out of room and they're not going to be able to expand or get through investors because they have eaten up all their space with useless big cities. Now, a lot of people do this because they're like, I need more money. Let me build another city. No, you don't need to do that. You need to be more efficient with your planning and your layout and your utilization of space. A lot of wasted potential up here. A lot of wasted workforce. Why do we have 1,600 extra farmers? You don't need it. You know, maybe keep 500 extra just in case you need more farms later. You know, keep an extra few hundred workers. That's fine. Artisans and engineers, you're good with. They make a lot of money, actually. You know, they make a good amount of cash for you. This is all kind of wasted potential right here. A lot of wasted potential here in the workforce. Obviously, a lot of those numbers are also coming from down here because we have commuter piers. Do we also have a commuter pier over here? Seeing one. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we got commuter piers on these islands. So, you know, I'm just curious. If we disable you, this is going to royally screw things up. I am curious. Okay. Even without the commuter piers, we've got 1,700 workers up here. So, yeah, I mean, 1,700 farmers. Obviously, again, wasted potential. Upgrade all this stuff. You don't need these farmers. Get them to something else. Get them into a better position. All right, there's that. Let's get her with a ceasefire. Go 8,000. We're up to 18. Offer a gift. Let's flatter. Can't do these right now. That's fine. With 43, he might be okay. He might not be too cranky with us. All right, let's turn all these back on. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So, honestly, the old world isn't bad. You know, like I think I've said this a couple of times. It's mostly just the logistics needs a lot of work. Trade routes need a lot of work. You know, trying to buy stuff from the AI, that's a no-no. Don't do that. Supply stuff yourself. He probably started doing that because he saw the AI was selling that stuff and he was running out of room, and he's running out of room because he is not using his space efficiently, honest. So, yeah. I would honestly just tear this whole island out. Population and all, get rid of them. Just get rid of this entire population on this island and use this only for farming. Similar thing over here. Just get rid of all this. You know, why do we have a zoo and a museum here? I have no idea. It's not even being utilized. It's taking up space. It's taking up space. It's not doing anything for them. Just get rid of this stuff. Get rid of all this and make it go away and focus your attention on one island. This player has definitely gone out of their way to make it as complicated for themselves as possible, and there's no need for it, to be honest. All right, let's see a few questions over here. Isn't it better to focus each island of one thing rather than every island trying to do everything? Yes and no. You know, yes and no. It depends on the size of the island, what resources are available, and how much space you need to utilize on it for what you have. Later in the game, yeah, you may have an island that is nothing but grain farms, or an island that is nothing but vineyards or something. But early on, you know, you can't really do that. So you kind of have to multi-purpose and then try to specialize if you need to later on. I got stuck in engineers, but for a few games of your guides, now can reach in-game content. Awesome. Very good to hear that. Thank you, thank you. Is it worth trying to rebuild Bright Sands after finishing the story? Not really. The Bright Sands that's shown in the game, in the campaign, is a set-piece island. It's a set-piece city. The production available on it and the way the industries are laid out and not laid out, the industries that are placed on the island and the infrastructure does not support that city. So you could use the road layout if you wanted to. And I think there might be a couple of stamps available somewhere for Bright Sands where you can kind of replicate the city and the houses. But in terms of industry and farms, you have to do that yourself. Because Bright Sands is a set piece. It is not a functional city. You're going to have to fix all that yourself. Is there a way to send you saves to review? Just get with me on Discord. You need to join my Discord server and get with me on there about that. Can I do a tutorial about how to decorate the islands? That is really... I get asked that question a lot, and that's a complicated thing to say. Because everyone has their own opinion on what looks good and what doesn't. Some people don't like the way I decorate. I don't like the way some people decorate. Decorating is a very personal choice, to be honest. A lot of it just comes down to you have to kind of break yourself out of building so compact. And like this. This is almost impossible to decorate because, you know, you've only left yourself a 3x3 square in the middle and there's no available space. You need to try to build in a way that leaves extra room to grow. Any stamp suggestions except 10x10 squares? There are several city stamps on annostamps.com that you could take a look at. There's quite a few of those over there, actually, with some unique and interesting city designs that you could take a look at over there. Bright Sands seems to have no farmers there. Yeah, like I said, Bright Sands is just a set piece. It's not a functional city whatsoever. So you have to do it yourself. You can use the road layout, but that's going to be about it. Everything else you're going to have to do on your own. All right, so I think that's how I would tell this player to handle the old world. Focus on one island, tear down the other cities. You might go into debt for a little while, but they've got 2.4 million. They've got enough gold to tide them over. So go through and fix your 3 islands. Luckily, they only have 3 islands that they have to work with, so it's easier. So fix those three islands and, you know, kind of get that squared away. Focus on one thing. Don't overextend yourself to these multiple islands. It's not going to help you. The only other place we got to look at then here is in the New World. And the New World is a little bit easier to handle. He's got 3 islands here. His main island looks like it's the island of Dodo down here. And, you know, it's not bad. I'm going to assume, yeah, see, we're kind of low on cotton, a little low on bananas, fish oil. So a lot of the stuff, the same principle applies here. Go through, check your productions, make sure you have what you need, and check your trade routes down here. I think he might have... Sorry, so I'll pop up on the phone. Yeah, he's moving cotton all over the place. And this right here would be remedied so easy if he just consolidated stuff to one island and moved stuff there and everything. His trade routes really aren't terrible. Very simple, other than, you know, don't do that kind of stuff. You know, we don't want those kind of boats on it. We don't want those. We don't want those ships on it. I'm thinking, now that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking he may have had that trying to guard his trade routes, actually. Oh, that's interesting. Wait a minute. Is that what he was doing? Well, no, because he's got that. Okay, I don't know then. Yeah, okay, never mind. He had some trade routes that had some different stuff on it, but whatever. Oh, I just saw something that makes my soul hurt. Where was that at? Okay, this hurts my soul. This makes me die inside right here. Don't ever use schooners to go in between regions, especially on critical trade routes like cotton. Don't ever do that. They are the slowest ship in the game. They are the most affected by cargo slowdown. Don't use these. Always use clippers or cargo ships or better on your inter-region trade routes. Inter? Whatever. Don't go between two regions with a schooner, okay? Yeah, just don't do that. Replace this with a clipper or something. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. So yeah, the new world is not in terrible shape. It just needs just that tiniest bit of, you know, attention just to kind of get it fixed properly. Like he's got a bunch of cotton plantations. He got a lot of stuff that's turned off, and I guess he was doing it to save money to try to fix his income. But he's probably got way too much of it. And once he consolidates all of his population of the old world to one island and is only focused on that one island, then I think the rest of it will fall into place and he'll find himself doing a lot better. Oh, me. Okay. I have a problem restarting because I want the perfect start, which you say needs to save his playable. I have just spent a moment. Yes. There is the only time you need to worry about the perfect start is if you are going for record building, aka 1 million or more population. Or challenges such as like a one island challenge or something like that, or you know, old world only without ever going to another region. Those specific situations do require a little bit more setup, and I would say you need a very particular start on a particular seed with that. Other than that, the seed and the start barely matters. Your starting island is going to have at least 3 resources that you gotta have, and you know, you're 9 times out of 10 you're going to be expanding to other islands anyways to get resources you have to have. So don't sit there and restart trying to get the perfect start, because it really doesn't matter in the end. You're going to get those resources you need, and you're going to expand out anyways to other islands. So just keep going and play with what you were given, essentially. Sometimes it's better having a good start than struggling to fix stuff forever. I agree, and there are such things as bad starts. Let's see. Let me check something real quick right here. All right. Let's Barrel's starter island right here. Okay, this is an island I would actually call a bad starting island. This is one of the few situations, and I probably should. You know what? We're gonna pay him that so he doesn't go to war with us. We got plenty of cash. I should revise what I said earlier a little bit, actually. 9 times out of 10, you don't need to worry about the start because it doesn't matter. All right, 8 times out of 10. 8 times out of 10, it doesn't matter what your start is. However, if you start on an island that has niter, if your starting island that you start on in the old world, whether you start with a whether you start with an island already settled for your starting conditions, or if you have to sail around and find a starting island, then if you find a starting island with oil on it that has niter and grapes, especially these two right here, I would either find a different starting island if you are starting with just a ship and you have to go claim your first island, or just restart the game. Just restart the game because Niter is almost useless. The only time Niter is useful is if you have DLC stuff or if you're going to need advanced weapons. Other than that, Niter is next to useless. This is a wasted slot right here on your starting island. And it will hurt you a little bit because now I'm going to have to expand out rather quickly to go find like red peppers for canned food, for example, or fur for my fur coats. I'm going to have to expand out sooner rather than later. So I would restart if I started with niter and grapes and like that. So that is a condition on restarting. Okay. I use schooners to pocket watch trade route. Is that also bad? It's not bad. It's just going to slow down your turnaround time. With a clipper, with speed boost items on it, by the time that clipper gets back and forth to Archie, you'll be able to pick up slightly more than 100 pocket watches to sell again. You won't get the full 150 that he typically sells. You'll get just a little bit over 100 that you'll be able to pick up. With a schooner, you're actually wasting pocket watches. It can only hold 100, and the schooner is so slow that by the time you get back and forth, he's going to have more than 100 restocked, and you're going to be wasting potential on what you could sell on that pocket watch turnaround. So I always wait to have a clipper. What can I do if I get to the mid-game and haven't secured any good old world islands and see to take them? I need some more space, but I can't get any more land. You're going to have to go to war with them. If you have been too slow to expand out and grab islands that you need, then you're going to have to either buy the islands out from them, which costs a lot of money and a lot of influence, or you're going to have to go to war and take them from them. That's really your only two choices. Do NPC stock limits increase or always? It's always 150. Yeah. NPC stock limits are always at 150 on how much they will keep. Hey Fox, how's it going? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yay, money. What's the best time to go to war then, and how do I prepare? Have you got a video on that? There is no best time to go to war. Okay, so there is no best time for any of that. You don't have to go to war. I mean, I don't know why a lot of people think that you have to go to war in this game. I typically play all of my games very peaceful, even with like expert AI. You know, you can play it peacefully. The only main reason to go to war with the AI is to take islands from them. That's it. Other than that, there is no reason to go to war. I mean, some people like to go to war to try to take, you know, get items. What's happening here? Yeah, some people like to go to war to try to take islands and to get items from sinking other ships, which is perfectly fine. You can do that, but it's a minor thing. So go to war if you need, you know, more space and everything. But other than that, there's no real reason for it. Restock rates are variable between AI. Most of the AIs cap out at 7 tons per minute. Some of the AI and some, depending on the goods, cap out at 5 per minute. Excuse me. The wiki has information on the restock rates for all the goods if you want to look for that. And the restock rates are dependent on your game progression. Game progression is a hidden factor in the game that you don't see, but it determines when stuff unlocks and you know, restock rates. It determines a lot of different stuff, but you don't see that in game. It's a hidden value. But I can tell you that the end game progression milestone is 1,000 investors and 25,000 global population. That is what is considered end game. But that all that determines is, like, you know, like I said, restock rates, what's available to purchase, how many specialists you can get from the AI, which specialists show up at the AI, the newspaper articles, which ones are available to you, things like that. Trying to figure out how to do trade routes between worlds. It's very simple. You go into the trade routes, create a trade route, assign a ship. There we go. Then let's say we want to go from Dodo, and then it's right here. It's right here, Basley. You just click on these. So if we want to go to the old world, we go there, click the island we want, boom, done. That's a trade route between two regions. If you just want to send a ship to another region manually, you just go to the ship, you click on the little list right here, order your ship to move to another region, and you select the island you want him to go to. That's it. That is how you move stuff between regions. I have a video for everything. I feel like I do. I think I've got like 1,000 videos on the channel now. I think I have a video for everything. Except for electricity. I don't have a good electricity video. Just because every time I try to make one, it's like I start thinking about the 1,000 different variables that can come into play when it comes to electricity and like train track layouts. So I just quit trying. I tried so many times to make a really good, comprehensive train layout video, and it's just so frustrating. I just gave up. I just gave up trying to make one. I was like, you know what? Forget it. It's whatever it is right now. Oh, it was the lumberjack. I was like, what did I click on? Has the best beginner videos. I do believe I have the most Anno 1800 like guides on the channel. I mean, on YouTube. I think I do have the most guides and stuff available. Oh wait, can I? Not you. Platter? Cool. There's a gift. Still can't quite get a ceasefire with him. We'll just keep trying to make him happy. Little at a time. Got him a little bit happier. Be missing electricity. I won't be missing layouts though. Who says you don't need layouts? That's a bold claim to think you may not need layouts. There we go. Got a couple of shippable lines hanging out. Let's get rid of that. Don't know what that is. That's all fine. Get rid of that. There we go. Oh, they're way far away. I may lose that flipper. It's fine, whatever. Alright, let's see what we got here. Gotta say I love your voice watching you play. Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna lose that one. Throw another one on there. Just sign another one. Yeah, see? You see how quickly he turned around when my Ship of the Lines showed up? He came around so quick. I'm gonna park them there, I think. I'm not gonna play. This is somebody else's save, obviously. I'm not gonna be playing it for very long, but I'm just throwing this out there to mess around with it for a minute while we're hanging out. Does he have any frigates? Oh, those are all clippers. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, okay, I'm not going to pay attention to that. I don't care. All right, let's see. Do I always play at 3 times speed? Typically, yes. I'll typically always play at 3 times speed. You think Pax Romana will have slaves? I don't know. It's a tricky question. It's a very tricky question how they'll handle that. I don't think they'll call them slaves, maybe. They may just call them, like, servants or something. I don't know. I have no idea about that. Unfortunately, that's kind of a hot topic type thing with having slaves in a game. You know, YouTube actually doesn't even like me saying that word. I might get demonetized on this video because I even said the word. So, who knows? Alright, do I ever use gun platforms? Only if I'm at war with anybody, which I'm typically not ever at war with anybody. He's just gonna sit there and just get himself killed because he's an idiot. Just bye. Just bye then. Whatever. I don't even care anymore. Alright, let's see. Volunteers, yes. Volunteers. Willie is getting on my last nerve. Even though I'm going to be deleting this game as soon as I'm done with it, I almost just want to build up a fleet and go take out his ships because he's annoying me. I play from Max Pop, so I miss all of them. Yeah, involuntary workers. Whenever I play and did some videos for Total War Warhammer, which has slaves in it, I call them interns. They were interns. For the love of fucking God, will you stop? I don't care. Sorry about my language, guys, but damn, that's getting on my nerves. Just, military, shut up. I really just don't care. Christ in a handbasket. Jesus. All right, so do we have questions about this particular save game? You know, things that we've been talking about here, things we've looked at on here. You know, do you have questions about this? In the video by wiping him out, that would take quite a while because I'm not even making sales over here. I only have 2. I've got 3 ship of the lines and a frigate. I don't even have, like, he's got flame towers, which are massively broken, honestly. Yeah, he's got Big Betty. It would take me a while to build up enough of a fleet to take him out. What was the main issue? No, a lot of underproduction, Fox. A lot of underproduction, trying to build up multiple high-tier cities on multiple islands all at the same time, while only having 3 islands available to him in the old world, and he's pretty much covered up all of his available space with useless stuff. Like, this is his only island with grapes, and the whole island is already taken up by a huge city and red peppers and stuff. And then, like, this island over here has a huge city all the way at engineers, and just very bad use of space. And then his primary island is a lot going on here with a lot of stuff that can be moved off. Let's see. The map seed game for this is... Boom. All right. If you are interested in playing this particular seed, here is the seed number. 1189 normal difficulty settings. How do you usually come up with how to structure your island? Like, you have an area for residence and another one for farming, etc. I don't know. I don't usually think too far ahead about that kind of stuff. You know, how do I, let me think about how to say that. In my head, I know that eventually I'm probably going to move a lot of the industry and agriculture, the polluting industry for the most part, and the agricultural and stuff off. So I'll usually just kind of slap it far away. Like if I had started right here, like my city would be down here, and then I would come like over here and throw down like all of my grain farms and a lot of my industry and stuff up here and just get it out of the way. That way I can focus on my city layout the way I want it to look down here for the time being. And then as I expand out and I'm ready to start moving stuff off, I can start shifting things off of my main island as needed. I joined late, but this looks like it's producing a lot of one thing. Is it good to overproduce things on one island, just distribute to islands that need that resource? Yeah, that it's not. You're not overproducing to distribute. What you are having, what you should do, is use the stat screen and do this. Like, let's, for example, say that potatoes. Let's say I wanted to make all of my potatoes over here on his Niter Island. Okay, what I would do is I would Control Select. This is almost acts like an Excel spreadsheet. So I would Control Select all of these to compare them, and I would make sure that I was supplying at least 38, or generating 38 tons of potatoes per minute on Niter Island, and then I would transfer that off with a clipper or something to the other islands. So basically, yes, that's what you do. You're not really overproducing in the general sense, because you're producing enough to meet the demand of all of your islands. You just compare them all. One last general question about airships, if you don't mind. At what point should I build them? Healing is a bit painful, but other than that, having airship weapons seems very strong. Okay. I think airships are stupid. I hate them. Helium airships are useless and pointless if you have the Passage DLC, because Arctic gas airships are by far more powerful. So helium is next to useless anyways. So I don't even think you should waste time with helium whatsoever, unless you just want to sell it for some reason. Focus on, of course, this depends on if you have the Arctic, the Passage DLC for Arctic gas. If you do, don't even waste time with helium. Build Arctic airships. They are much better. The Arctic gas buff is way more powerful. It's so much more powerful that it's almost stupid that how they it's not balanced. There was no balance decision in this. They just made Arctic gas by far better than helium in terms of the buff that it gives. So there's no point in it. As far as the airships themselves, they are very powerful, especially like the what's that thing called, the chonker one. I forget what it's called. The big chonker airship. It's really powerful and it can move a lot of stuff. Yeah, no, shut up. They are really powerful. They do cost a lot of... Oh, wow, we're completely out of money now. They do cost a lot of money, a lot of influence. The main benefit of them is, obviously they can fly over an island, so it shortens the distance. They're really good for like long haul type stuff. So I don't know. Shut up. So I don't know. You can build them. I don't think there's a point where you start building them. There's a lot of people that always ask me, like, okay, when should I do this? There is no when should I do this with Anno. There is, am I ready for this? Or will this be a better benefit to me than what I have currently available? And it's all situational. Yes, airships can go between regions. If they couldn't, that would be kind of dumb. to be honest. Not making fun of you, Invictus. That's just if ships could not go between, if a particular ship couldn't go between the regions, that would be really bad. So yeah, a lot of Anno is not, okay, I have 4,000 engineers. Now it's time to build airships and replace everything with airships. It's not how it works. It's all depends on, the usefulness at the current time of the situation that you have on hand, is essentially what it comes down to. Can we switch between power plants and art? You can't switch it over. It's a different building. So this actually is a good... that's actually something kind of good to talk about real quick. I think he has Cape Trelawney. Yeah, he has Cape Trelawney unlocked. Cape Trelawney is a really good example of this because it is so big, and trying to do a rail network layout on Cape Trelawney on Crown Falls is a pain in the absolute ass, honestly. The way I like to go about swapping over to Arctic gas is I will build a single oil power plant, whether that be on Crown Falls, an old world island, my main old world island, whatever. I will build only one power plant, oil power plant. I will use that one oil power plant to get myself into investors and into unlocking Arctic gas and get to into the Arctic, get all that unlocked, and get gas production going and bring that back. At that point, I will then swap over instantly to using gas power and start setting up gas power plants everywhere. I have not wasted time, resources, and money trying to set up an intricate oil network that I'm just going to tear down and replace with gas, because gas power plants don't need rail. They just need a warehouse next door because they're so slow to go get it because they use a horse and cart. Even though they're a power plant that uses power. That doesn't use power, but it produces... The oil power plant needs a car. Okay, that's basically what I'm getting down to. Why the hell the gas power plant still uses a horse and buggy? I don't get it, but it does. And it's so slow, so you need a warehouse like next door. But anyways, I will only do one oil power plant on an island, especially my main island. And then I will swap over to gas power plants and get rid of that one oil power plant. I will do oil power plants on like small and medium islands like this. This is a decent island for oil power plants. I can get like one right here and one right here and cover the majority of the island with oil power. And that saves my gas power plants for my big islands. All right. Helium is still much less the pain and stuff than gas, though you can just grab a few airships. Jimbo, I am going to tell you, you're wrong. Gas power is not difficult to set up. Not if you followed my patented 12-step process to setting up the Arctic in about 1 hour. I'm kind of kidding. I do have a video that does go through the Arctic. I can be in and out of the Arctic in about 2 hours tops and have all the plateaus settled, set up, fully supplied with what's required for them. That's the key point. Required. And all of the gas flowing back into wherever that's going back to, Old World, Trelawney, whatever. And that's it. 2 hours tops in the Arctic, and I'm done. I basically never have to go back to the Arctic after those 2 hours. I never have to go back there unless I need to go craft some items that I might want. And that's it. The Arctic is, in terms of difficulty of regions, from easiest to hardest, in terms of like setup and getting everything put together. Old World / Cape Trelawney is the easiest. Actually, no. I take that back. The New World is the easiest. Old World Cape Trelawney is second. Arctic, I would say, is third. And then Mbesa, I would say, is probably one of the harder ones because of the canals. You do have to, you do have to have good canal layouts to make Mbesa really good for you. You said you'll eventually move all of your industry off your main islands is the goal, just to produce needs on other islands and import it to the main island. I don't move. I play in a way that some people scratch their heads at. You know, words. The way I do Anno 1800 is, of course, I'm a beauty builder. I like to make things look nice and pretty. And so some industry does look really good mixed in with your houses. You know, factories and stuff mixed in amongst all of the worker houses. It looks really cool and everything. I like the looks of it. There's some industry that I do move off just because of, you know, size of the buildings, or certain trade union setups are just too good for them to not be condensed into one area. So I will move stuff like that off. And yes, it is simply just to have it centralized in one good spot and then transport that stuff to other islands. New World is not the easiest. Well, no. Okay, yes. If you count New World Rising, the New World is not particularly easy, because the New World Rising production chains are a complete pain in my ass, and I hate half of them. But it also makes a New World a lot easier with electricity. So there's a balance to that. The chains are a pain in the ass, but the electricity available in the New World does make things a lot easier as well. The Hacienda makes everything a joke. So it's just how that is. Is there a way to multiply scooter production? I mean, if you're not familiar, you can go right here into the items tab, click unknown, type in scooter factory, boom. And we can see, well, I can't technically see everything because he doesn't have New World Rising enabled, but you can see most stuff right here that can affect it. Actually, I think he does have everything. Yeah. Yeah, you can find what can boost it right from right there. Scooters are really, really good to produce. The problem with scooters is there's no good way to produce them en masse without having to invest tons of income into producing them. The reason that Bruno affects it, but not the way you're thinking. Bruno affects it by increasing the productivity by 50% and giving you those advanced weapons and steam motors, but that's it. Scooters are really good, but you don't get the best. I would not use them as my primary export because you need to invest so much into producing them. The reason things like advanced weapons and steam carriages and stuff like that are still the best things to produce, because not steam carriages, steam motors and things like that, especially advanced weapons, is because of something like Bruno. Because you can get those advanced weapons by slapping them on penny farthings or on, you know, sewing machines, and you can get an absolute assload of advanced weapons really, really cheap. Whereas scooters are a massive investment. Which DLC has skyscrapers? That is introduced new tier after investors. Skyscrapers is from the High Life DLC, and no, skyscrapers are an upgrade of investors. Yeah, it's just investors that are stacked on top of each other, essentially. So anyways, yeah, for scooters and stuff, no. I mean, they are really good, and if you have extra scooters being produced, sure, use those for docklands, but don't build 20 scooter factories trying to produce them. It's counterproductive. You want to get, for docklands, you want to produce something en masse that is going to be cost effective for use as a mass export. Scooters are not a cost effective mass export because there is no good way to produce them en masse cheaply. Advanced weapons, doing steam carriages through arbitrage, things like that, that stuff can be done cheaply and give you a lot of something that's really high value. Oh, and hey, Jamando, I didn't even see you there, my friend. What's up? How are you doing today? All right, guys. With that, I hate to have to cut this short. Normally, I like to stream for, at least 3 or 4 hours. But like I said, I have some family stuff going on this afternoon. So I am going to have to jump off of here a little. I was going to try to stream for about 2 hours, but, we're kind of winding down a little bit. We've gone through this right here. Hopefully, I've explained some of these common mistakes that we have seen, just to kind of recap really quick with this particular save game and what we saw. 3 islands in the old world, trying to, simultaneously grow large cities on only 3 islands is not really conducive to a healthy Anno 1800 experience. If you only have 3 islands, you need to use 1 island as your residential focus and the other 2 islands as your production islands. You just have to do that. If you need more space, try to get more islands from the AI. Otherwise, refocus. This player needs to refocus and stop trying to do everything all over the place and do 1 island. Still do 1 island with residential and the 2 islands as their support islands with farms and factories and so on it. Go through the trade routes right here. The trade routes that he has set up to the AI are absolutely useless. Don't ever do that. Needs to get rid of those trade routes, go into the different AIs, and focus on producing everything that they need themselves. Definitely being familiar with the statistics screen right here and making sure that you're keeping up with your production as you expand. Don't go through and just keep expanding willy-nilly for hours on end, and then all of a sudden you go in here and you see that you are underproducing by an assload. Keep up with this. Make sure you are going in and constantly... If you see me playing sometimes, you will see I am always going in here and checking this. Constantly checking the stats screen. This is your Bible of this game. This tells you everything that you need to know about what is happening with your city, and you need to keep an eye on that at all times. The New World is in a little bit better shape. It's just some minor adjustments here, and kind of the same thing. We've got 3 islands here. And so 1 island needs to be a little more focused on, having your obreros on it. I normally don't have obreros on more than 1 island, and I will focus all of my obrero production on 1 island. That needs to happen there. The other islands will be dedicated to farms and ornaleros. Since, of course, we don't have a workforce sharing without the Empire of the Skies DLC. With the Empire of the Skies DLC, we do get the commuter airship thingy, whatever it is called. But without that DLC, we don't have access to that. So you need to be very, very careful about how big you build your cities in the New World, because you need a lot of space for farms and everything. So these big cities that he's building... not really that good of an idea. The New World is not there to make money unless you have New World Rising. The New World is there to support the Old World. So, small cities, lots of space for all of these farms that you need. I think with that, guys, I am going to call it a day here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped and gave you some feedback and some ideas if you're having some trouble with different things in Anno 1800. If you have questions and things, do leave those down below in the comments on this video after it goes out. As a replay, rewatch, whatever you want to call it. And you can also join our Discord server. As of the other day, we have, let's see, how many people are in this stupid Discord now? I just call my own Discord stupid. Let's see. We currently have 12,744 people on my Discord server. 12,000 people on our Discord server, lively chat happening all the time, and we have a lot of very, very knowledgeable people with Anno over there. So if you have questions, you need help, join the Discord server, join those tens of thousands of people, and get some help with over there from me or other people. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you had a great time hanging out. I know I did. Enjoyed answering your questions, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video coming within the next day or so. We'll be polishing off our Anno 1602 playthrough, and then continuing on with Anno 1503. I do have some Anno 1800 content that I'm planning on soon, so be on the lookout for that. I think you'll be really surprised with what I am working on. With that, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, take care.